name's Bond. James Bond.
Hello and welcome. You're listening to Bond vs. Godzilla, the podcast that compares and contrasts two of the longest-running film series in cinema history. My name is Cruz Moore, and I will be your resident Godzilla expert on this show. Joining me on this cinematic journey for however long it lasts are three of my very good friends who each have their own history and experience with both film franchises. Bond expert Jacob Roberts.
I'm Jacob Roberts, and is Bond 26 out yet?
Audio engineer Willie Crook.
Everything hurts and I'm dying.
And digital artist Chas Lemons.
I'm Charles Lemons, and I'm sick of Mothra sprouting chemical webs in the air.
On today's episode, we'll be tackling No Time to Die from 2021 and Godzilla Tokyo S.O.S. from 2003. So without further ado, Jake, give us a backstory on the grand finale to Daniel Craig's era.
No Time to Die probably has the most interesting production of any Bond film. Or it at least has the craziest timeline of events, as fans would have to wait 6 years to see the next James Bond adventure, the same gap of time as the hiatus between License to Kill and GoldenEye. Despite comments about slitting wrists, it was revealed that Daniel Craig would have one last outing as 007, and that his final installment would wrap up the ongoing narrative that was started all the way back in Casino Royale in 2006. Following the release of Spectre, Sony's distribution contract ran out, and a new distributor had to go to the highest bidder, which kept production from actually starting until a year later. Danny Boyle was chosen as director, and he wasted no time in writing a screenplay with John Hodge. 2 years into this period of development, creative differences with the producers forced both Boyle and Hodge to walk away, so production had to be started over from scratch, causing the 2019 release window to be pushed back to 2020. Boyle was replaced with Cary Fukunaga, the series' first American director, and production finally began properly in 2019. Everything was going great. Neil Purvis and Robert Wade rewrote the script, with final touch-ups by Phoebe Waller-Bridge at Daniel Craig's request. The cast was made, the script was mostly locked in, absolutely nothing could go wrong. And then 2020 happened. The global COVID-19 pandemic ground the entire world to a standstill in a way never seen before. Under the constant pressure from theaters and fan sites like mi6.com, No Time to Die became the first major motion picture to announce a delay because of the pandemic. The film was delayed to fall 2020 in hopes that the virus would have died down by then, but it did not, and so it had to be pushed again to spring 2021, even though the by then worthless and wasted mass marketing campaign still went ahead, promoting a fall release that didn't happen. The film would be delayed one final time to fall 2021, starting with the UK and then trickling out to the rest of the world over a number of weeks. During that 6-year period of waiting for the newest film in my favorite franchise, I quit my job, started a business, and started a podcast that allowed me to finally watch the thing when it did come out in a private screening with 3 really good friends. And now, 2 years after said screening, we can finally talk about it. So, gentlemen, we made it!
back when it did come out and we watched it, we're like, oh yeah, we'll have probably like a small little 10-minute segment in our episode to just talk about it. And we never did. And it's like, well,
Yep.
at some point we'll get to it and we can finally give our word on it. So I'll let you start, Jake, so we can finally...
Yeah, okay. So My general opinion on No Time to Die, I would rank it in better than average. I don't think it's reaches quite the heights that Casino Royale and Skyfall did. However, what is there is really, really good. And I think even if I do have some problems with the film, but I'd say it is definitely a very worthy finale to the entire Daniel Craig arc. I think he went out with a bang, and I'm really happy about it. If it didn't have to compete with Skyfall or Casino Royale, it would easily be the best of the era.
It's one of those films that it's hard for me to kind of wrap my head around and think, specific details onto why it's good, because the entire time I'm finding that I'm just along for the ride and my brain is kind of turned off in a way.
It meshes really well. I mean, when especially when we first watched it in the theater, one of the things that we all agreed on is that it did not feel as long as it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is reaching about 3 hours, which I think is the longest in the series.
Yes, it
yeah,
is.
and it doesn't feel like it.
A good chunk of it is just people sitting around talking.
Wow.
But they do it in such a way that, it is engaging watching these characters, discuss things.
I'm just now realizing that.
Yeah, there's not a lot of action scenes in this movie. It's more of a thriller. This one takes its time to weave its plot in such a way that you are wondering, what's going to happen next? Who's playing who? How are these different sides going to react to each other? It is very Connery-esque, and I feel that was a very deliberate choice, especially the strong connections it has in particular to On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Yep.
But even looking at the Connerys as a whole, it kind of has that 60s feel to it while still feeling totally modern.
Yeah, because we don't get to a fun action scene until we get to the CIA agent that he teams up with and fights against, Spectre during that giant meeting.
It's so fun because you have, you have Bond and Paloma working together, and then obviously you have Spectre, but then you have Nomi there as well, representing MI6. So you have this cool three-way spy dance of like all three sides trying to one-up each other and get this one guy. It's great.
But before we get to that, we start off with an action scene, but the reason why it's so different to that is that this is not fun. This is a gigantic revelation for our main character, who at this point almost feels near... not only heartbroken, but near suicidal, because you have someone repeatedly shooting the car and he's just does not care.
He
could care less.
It's almost like, this is the moment where Craig Bond is at his mental and emotional lowest. He doesn't even have that anger that he was able to fall back on with Vesper's death. Like, it's this tragic thing where just when I thought I could have love again, just when I thought it was finally all over, I get my face smashed into the pavement again. You can tell he is just done.
I knew that we were in for, when we first saw the movie, I knew that we were in for a good film when we have an action scene that is incredibly well edited and acted, but it doesn't feel fun or heroic, leading into the soft piano notes from Billie Eilish into a tragic, heartbreaking opening.
It's, oh my God, I absolutely love this song, and I'm not a huge fan of Billie Eilish's music, but this song is just as close as you can get to perfection for a song that's not only great to listen to, but fully encapsulates the themes of the movie it represents.
I guess before I say this, did you keep some of the little bit of music theory gushing I did in the last episode?
I don't know. Did you listen to the last episode, Willie?
Not yet. I've been
Thank
busy.
you. Thanks.
I've been busy. That's why I was asking.
Neither has anyone else.
I listened to him.
Except for this guy.
So I talked a little bit last time about the stuff that I had issues with writings on the wall, and this is what Billie Eilish does right. She modulates the melody. It doesn't just stay in one range the entire time, and the dynamics of her voice follow the dynamics of the song, and that's how you do a melancholic just low key energy song and still make it have that impact.
Yeah. It also creates a fantastic contrast of having her gentle female voice singing the words that would be going through Bond's head
Yeah.
from a male perspective. So one element that prevails throughout the film that I would like more insight on from your side, Jake, is the connection to On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Yeah.
The way that they we have all the time in the world, the musical cues.
There's definitely a lot of similarities that mirror On Her Majesty's Secret Service. I'll start with the music angle. The musical connection between the two films is all Hans Zimmer's doing. Zimmer was actually largely inspired by the trailer for Spectre, which uses a new arrangement for the main theme from On Her Majesty's Secret Service in the trailer for Spectre. So he used On Her Majesty's as a through line for No Time to Die's score. Even, I'm not sure if you guys caught it, but he plays a slow version of the Majesty's main theme in that scene where Bond and M are talking by the Thames.
Yeah.
There's a slow rendition of the On Her Majesty's Secret Service main
did
theme
catch
there. Bringing in Louis Armstrong's We Have All the Time in the World, which is the most obvious connection to On Her Majesty's. And, both of these films use this song that I'm so glad that you guys saw Majesty's before No Time to Die came out. I'm so happy it worked out that way because having that context in the beginning when the song starts playing and the line is Bond says the line to Madeline, I'm just like, oh, my heart's gonna be broken.
Yeah.
Because all four of us in the theater were like, oh
no.
Like, first time Bond says it, it's we have all the time in the world in the beginning. And then near the end, it's you have all the time in the world. Yeah. And then the song starts playing at some point as the credits are coming up. I would hate to have thought what I would have done in the theater if we had not been able to see On Her Majesty's Secret Service, because then I feel like I probably would have screamed no.
I was doing fine until Armstrong started singing. Once he actually started singing, oh God, I broke.
And then to also have a first of Bond dying in a film, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
And to have that be a finality and to have the last line of dialogue be his name was Bond, James Bond.
Oh, it's so
Or his
good.
name was James.
The Bond dying was entirely Daniel Craig's idea. And it's an idea he had all the way back in Casino Royale, where he said that, in the end, when my time comes, I would like my character to be killed off. Because that way my tenure would be my tenure from start to finish. No one else would just step in my shoes and just, walk away with my character. That, he wanted that bookend of this is the Daniel Craig Bond story.
He wanted a Craig story.
Freaking love Paloma. Like,
She's so great.
My God.
3 weeks training.
She's good.
Oh, I'm gonna gush about Paloma now.
Go for it.
So,
Do it.
The woman who all four of us just went, is she coming back? What come on. Get back here.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh my
That
gosh.
was sad.
Not surprisingly, the character of Paloma was added late into the screenwriting process because Daniel Craig insisted on giving a part to Ana de Armas because he loved working with her so much on Knives Out.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he just became a huge fan of her. So he's like, I want her in my Bond film.
Really?
Yeah, Daniel Craig just professionally fell in love with this woman. It's like they just had
Fair
such
enough.
great chemistry. Yeah. So yeah, her inclusion was so last minute that she only had 3 weeks to train for the scene.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
that is great.
De Armas complained about this so much that they included the 3 weeks training line in the script as a gag.
Oh, that is amazing.
Which in a way is another strange connection to On Her Majesty's Secret Service, where George Lazenby had a line that he kept saying so much that they made him say it in the script.
That's funny.
So yeah, she She's only in the movie for a very small length of time comparatively, but remains one of the best parts of the entire movie.
She's only in there for a small amount of time, but damn, you'll remember it.
Oh, damn, you'll remember it. Oh, my God.
One of the greatest things about this film, much like Skyfall is almost a great standalone psychological thriller spy movie, this is filled with so much melancholy for a spy film.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And it has such an emphasis on times changing, moving on, letting go, and M's line of living the life in the time that you're given.
The eulogy that M gives for Bond is a quote from the American novelist Jack London, and this is the same quote that was used for Bond's obituary in the novel "You Only Live Twice." So that's one of many connections to the Ian Fleming novels. Safin's Poison Garden comes from the books. That also comes from You Only Live Twice, where Blofeld ran a suicide garden in Japan. When Blofeld dies, when Bond wrings Blofeld's neck and whispers in his ear, "Die, Blofeld." That's how Bond kills Blofeld in You Only Live Twice, the book. So
Maybe I should read this book.
it took me multiple viewings to really connect with Safin. He's probably the weakest element in the film. He definitely comes across as a lot of ideas and concepts that at the surface really work, but he's kind of one of those villains that the more you dig into him, the more odd he is narratively as a villain. The whole connection he has with Madeline, which I think is good, a strong connection, how he's like just kind of laser focused on Madeline in like a really creepy way. But there's like this weird sense of he's kind of like the same age as he was when she was a little girl, and it's I don't know, he looks young, and it's just like I know that's a nitpick and a weird thing to get hung up on, but at the same time it's like
No, that's a fair point. I didn't even think about that until right now.
yeah, it's like you should look older than you do. Yeah. I mean, like I can buy that he might have been like maybe late teens, early 20s when he visited the house. At
I mean,
first,
he was wearing a mask.
Yeah, I mean, you could buy it, but at the same time, it's like this.
His hair is too black.
Yeah, you're just like, this doesn't quite add up. And then I always found he starts off really strong. That desire for revenge, to want to kill off all of Spectre. That's great. That's awesome.
And that shows you how important Spectre was to this whole thing. Nope, they're gone. Bye.
They're gone. Bye. I mean, I do feel like all of Spectre is at this party, and I feel like that plot point's a little bit weird, but I get it's the last movie, you got to get rid of them somehow. Fine, whatever.
Thank you.
I feel that once Safin succeeds in killing Spectre, his master plan at that point succeeded. He won, but I almost feel like the movie is like, oh shit, now what do we do? He wants to spread it across the world. Why? Because he's evil.
So the thing about Safin is that even though I do think that he is a weak element, I do enjoy him in an Albert Wesker kind of way where he wants to eliminate a huge chunk of humanity and kind of rebuild and start something new. But he's not over the top about it. I like the fact that he is this no blinking, whispering, disturbed man since he was a kid. And I would like to dive into that more, but that mystery is enough for me to accept what he's doing, even if it isn't the most fleshed out.
The backstory that they give him is backstory enough. Just like, he was raised in this subsection of Spectre, family were poisoners, they got betrayed. I think that right there is enough to kind of make a connection with him as a person. If I were to rewrite this movie in a way, I would probably change Safin's designs to, instead of targeting the world and make it a worldwide threat situation, I would probably honestly kind of lower the stakes and make it something more personal to Bond. Like maybe his ultimate master plan is just to infect Madeline. And Bond has to stop that.
Which is what it ultimately, I mean, besides the world, that's what it ultimately comes down
That's
to.
ultimately what it boils down to. And
Yeah.
I think that's kind of all he needed, because this is a villain who's supposed to be getting under Bond's skin, who's supposed to be just like, poking him until he just gets so pissed off. And he does that successfully. And you end up caring more about the personal struggles than the whole, mass genocide.
Yeah, I feel like they're kind of written to be almost opposites of each other because
Oh, yeah.
he's more of this like laid back, like sit and wait, do something subtle kind of poisoner, and Bond's kind of the blunt instrument handling everything with the head on.
Continuing with like the melancholic theme of the movie, it's just the idea of a villain being so quiet and gentle and having a thing of beauty be capable of death or blindness or a whole multitude of things. And that being like just the image of a little girl reaching out to a flower and every cell in your body saying don't is just all you need to establish how sinister that this is. And I think it also helps that this is the first villain, I don't know if it's in the series or primarily in Craig's series, that is just killed off by being shot point blank.
In such a gritty fashion, yeah. There's other villains that have been just shot to death, but the raw power that Bond delivers, the coup de grace to Safin, because at that point, Safin won. Yeah, Safin died at the end, but Safin won in terms of that personal struggle between Safin versus Bond. Safin got that final victory. And you can see it when Bond delivers that killing blow. There's no joy in it. There's no victory in it. There's no celebration at all. It's just,
And even his phone call to Q of how do I get it off? He knows the answer.
Yeah. And when your main basis for your ability as a person, what you can do is cultivating life that is capable of de-establishing life, I think it makes sense to have a bit of the green thumb of the devil mindset.
Yeah.
I still really love Nomi's scene with the scientist, like he says that line like your people.
Yeah,
something
I can wipe your entire race off the earth.
and then she goes like, do you know what time it is? Well, time to die.
Oberchef is fun. I have missed a really good and
Comic relief.
Yeah, comic relief villain that is that well written.
Yeah.
He is the golden eye.
Yeah, no, I don't think they've written a comic relief villain that well since Boris from GoldenEye. Probably the most iconic bit of imagery surrounding Safin is his mask, which was used to great effect in the promotional material. Pretty much every bit of promotional material surrounding Safin before the movie came out all came from that pre-title sequence in the snow.
Yeah.
That's pretty much like all of Safin, the promotional material ever showed.
That's great imagery.
Yeah.
But what does it mean?
The style of mask that he wears is a style of mask that's used in Japanese no theater. The idea for his mask is actually a holdover from a much an early in development script idea that had 2/3 of the movie would actually take place inside Bond's mind while he was being tortured. And the villain wearing a mask would appear as a product of his mind. This idea was scrapped, but the mask was a holdover. I said this was like early development kind of a thing.
This is like Nolan-esque idea.
It was very Nolan-esque. Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't go that way, but that is one of those unused. What if Godzilla fought Ghost Godzilla?
There was a very popular fan theory before the film came out. That the theory was that Safin was going to be revealed to be Dr. No. Just like how Christoph Waltz ended up being Blofeld. We're still coming off the wall as a Spectre.
Yeah.
You know, they did it once, what's stopping them from doing it again? And there was a lot of weight behind this theory, to the fact that I think that some of it was actually probably done intentionally, even if the filmmakers deny it, which they have. Glad he wasn't, but I still think there was some. I still think that it had to have crossed the filmmakers' minds.
Yeah,
when they were making this character.
Like after Spectre and what they did with that, it's like I'm glad that they didn't go down the road
Same.
of like the man you are speaking to is
Dr. No.
whatever his actual name is. I don't know.
It would have been kind of an annoying, like a callback that kind of borders on annoying, but they both do have pools that burn things that fall into it.
And it's funny. It's like there's one
Oh
one
shit, you're
line.
right.
Yeah, there's one line in the movie that's very easy to miss. Safin gives a command to one of his underlings, and the underling responds with, "Yes, doctor." So like even if he's not officially Dr. No, I think he's kind of Dr. No in spirit.
He doesn't need to be.
He
that's
doesn't
the thing.
need to be.
Yeah,
for
the
sure.
Bond series doesn't need.
Reboot the characters.
Well, no, it doesn't need. I'm putting together the Avengers Initiative moments.
Oh no,
you know?
yeah, for sure.
No, thank you.
We'd like to talk to you about the Spectre Initiative.
Yeah. It made my skin crawl.
We would like to recruit you, Dr. No's surviving hand.
In terms of promotional material and villains, I can also talk about Blofeld, who's
He was a lot better in this movie.
he is.
And he doesn't have to do anything.
He's only in there for a few minutes, so it's amazing how this keeps happening. Blofeld's appearance in this movie was originally supposed to be a surprise. I don't think it would have been a very good surprise, because I think everyone would have expected him to come back after Spectre, but it was originally supposed to be a surprise. However, Christoph Waltz was accidentally seen at Pinewood during the shoot, so the secret got out. So instead, Eon pushed Blofeld as part of their promotional material. They started heavily promoting Blofeld, even though he's only in the film for a few minutes.
That's funny. I like that.
It sort of backfired, because everyone thought that he was going to have a bigger role when he did, when really it was supposed to be just like a fun little thing.
It's like, look how much more sinister he is by just being a crazed prisoner. Much like how, we had an amazing The Batman, and then it isn't until the very end that we get a little hint of the Joker already in prison, and it's like, oh shit.
I don't know, like Blofeld is just, I don't know, there's something very Hannibal Lecter about him.
Yeah,
the
in
way,
this one, yeah.
he's locked in the cell. He's still, even though he has zero power, he's still able to get under Bond's skin and manipulate him, and that's the kind of power that Blofeld should have, which is what he did not have in Spectre.
And Craig seems to be having a really fun time just acting in a room with him. He almost feels like he's tapping into the Knives Out character in that scene, where he's trying to really grasp and understand his reasoning.
Yeah, like I always felt like it seems oddly out of character for Bond, the way that he's interrogating Blofeld during that scene. Just the way that he starts laughing as he starts.
Right, but I like that though.
Yeah, because
I do like it too.
Because it shows that like Blofeld is the one person who can really push Bond's buttons in a way that no one else really can.
Yeah.
So what about this film's ladies? Of course, the return of Madeline. We have 007 Nomi, and we have Bond's daughter Mathilde. Madeline does give a stronger performance in this one than she did in Spectre.
Yeah.
It is, broke ground with being the first main Bond girl to appear in, subsequent movies, to actually have the girl come back. Oh my God. I just thought that she was fine in Spectre. Yeah, okay. But here, No Time to Die, she really helped sell that heartbreak.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, because I didn't, like I said in the last episode, I just didn't really win me over in any way possible. But by the time we get to this, and she has more depth to her character and more of an emotional through line, it's like, okay, this is the person that he's sticking with. Fine.
Yeah, and actually, definitely an improvement in chemistry, I'd say.
Yeah.
Between the two of them.
What is it that she writes down in
the paper that she burns?
Yeah,
the
because
masked man.
Okay.
She wrote down the masked man in French.
With her having more depth, that's what happens when you potentially have this person be part of this conspiracy and not entirely sure whether or not she is working against Bond. And I think it is, I don't know if it was intentional or not, but the image of Casino Royale, him in a hotel room after Vesper leaves and then going like, oh, wait a minute. Cut to this film where
It's a bit of a parallel.
Yeah, he
there.
returns to the hotel room and she's still there. She's not missing at all. And even though it would help if this person, had one more film under their belt, that way Bond's speech about there isn't a single moment, that I regret being with you, because I do buy the acting and what's happening in the scene, but it would help if there was at least more history with them.
There's a timeline out there in the multiverse where the entire through line story was absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
But I think she shows herself that she's a lot more capable in this film, and once again, having Lea Seydoux do her best, which is just, once again, we must have her cry in every film that she's...
Hey, you know what? If you're good at something... Speaking of being good at something, though, where the hell did they find this child? Because, my God.
The child!
Can I say, I think that Mathilde is the best freaking actor in this entire movie. Am I alone in that?
It is so good!
Every emotional beat she hits perfectly, to the point where, in my head, I'm like, yeah, no, that's a child.
It's like, Leah, why did you bring your child on the movie?
Right?
With you?
Right?
Yeah, it does kind of feel that way when she just says, I lost my bunny. And
Yeah.
I can believe it.
To sum it up, I think it is perfect in the sense that this doesn't feel like a character.
Yeah, she hides like a scared child, and
Yeah.
My favorite scenes with her are honestly in the Rovers, going through the chase.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because there's a line of dialogue that is still captivating me, and I don't know why, because I felt like it was going to lead to something, and it
The
doesn't.
mosquitoes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, same!
Yeah.
I
Do you
thought...
think mosquitoes have friends?
Yeah.
I don't
Oh,
think
yeah.
they
And
do.
I'm like, what do you mean, Mrs.
Yes!
Riddle?
And,
Yes, that somehow sits as the most profound line
Yeah.
in the entire movie. I don't know why, but it is.
but
Yeah.
but it's just something that a kid would ask.
yeah,
And you get this sense that Mathilde understands that there is danger and intensity. She's understand that there's something bad going on, but she's too young to wrap her head around it. So she's trying to cope with it with the only way that she understands, and the only way she knows how. And it's probably easily one of the best written child characters I have ever seen in a movie ever.
yeah.
It's kind of like the idea of I've been hurt by something. Do you think there are more things out there like it that will also hurt me? Mm-hmm. And that's why, just like Skyfall, when you have the Bond series do something that isn't normal for it, and in this case, having, sure, Spy Family, but having a mother and father drive out into these beautiful isolated woods with fog and just tactically protect their child instead of what you typically expect from a Bond film. And it's the more you do that, the more you have films that will stand on their own and break the mold of other past films. And as for the new 007, I find that I'm not as angry at her as I was in the first viewing. Because now that we've seen the entire spectrum of Bond girls and other 00 agents, it doesn't feel like a shoehorn. It feels like, someone who is trying to keep up, but is knows what they're doing and is a part of the team.
Yeah, with
think.
Nomi, I really, really didn't like Nomi the first time I saw No Time to Die. I've warmed to her. I still don't think she's great. I think a lot of it just comes down to Lashana Lynch's acting, which feels a little wooden at times. Not every time, but there is some stiffness there. I've definitely warmed to the character. I understand where the character's coming from, and I do find the character believable. She does have some funny moments that I do enjoy. But it's hard not to compare her to previous female agents in the series that have just put on a much stronger performance than she did. But I think she serves the movie all right.
Yeah, instead of focusing on like her making sure that people know that she's 007, I just focus on the fact that, yeah, she gets caught in the end, but then she quickly, dispatches a power line and makes her escape. And it's like, okay, no, she's fully capable of what she's doing.
I believe enough that she is a 00. She has a chip on her shoulder from the 007 number. You know, they kept bringing up the thing of like, oh, it's just a number. And you get the sense that, yeah, Bond believes he's just a number. He doesn't care. She cares.
But
she cares a lot.
And she's like, she kind of casually says it to him, almost as if she's kind of like, see, I'm just as witty as you ever were.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like that. I'm not just any 00.
Yeah, she tries to rub it in his face. So you can tell that, like, you're carrying a chip on your shoulder because you now have to, you're being given the same moniker as the greatest spy MI6 ever had. She feels like she needs to prove herself.
I would like to see a story told with her.
I don't, because I don't think she's that strong of a character.
That's fine. Yeah.
Because, okay, if you're going to give me a Bond spin-off, who would you rather see a spin-off movie of? Nomi or fucking Paloma?
Yeah.
If you are absolutely gung-ho on giving Nomi a continuation story, make it a novel.
I'm digging these alternate posters. It's pretty cool if people have made those.
Oh, I mean, any poster that's not the official poster is going to be automatically better, so... hate the poster for No Time to Die. Fucking bullshit.
Yeah, let's have a question of like, which is the worst poster of
No
the
Time to
Daniel
Die.
Craig?
No Time to Die. Worst poster. I'm sorry. It's
Yeah, like
So boring.
I want to say Skyfall because I'm upset that for such a great film, having Bond just on his back shooting a gun, it's like, okay.
I'd still say it's better than No Time. I mean, like, movie posters in this day and age are all kind of shit anyway.
Right, yeah.
It's just not just a Bond problem, it's a freaking movie problem, but it's just...
But the last thing we need is just Daniel Craig in front of a wallpaper.
Yeah, it's so lame. All right, so since this is the last film in the James Bond series, and you have seen all of them over the past 2 years, I can now bring forward my personal opinions of James Bond rankings. First thing I'm going to rank are the title themes. Number 25, Another Way to Die by Jack White and Alicia Keys.
Big surprise.
Yeah, right? For me, number 24, License to Kill by Gladys Knight. Number 23.
But that's so good.
I don't like it.
License to
Wait,
kill.
the song or the title?
Just the song. Just the song.
No, the song's great.
I don't like it.
That's 80s, man. It's just bum 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 bum.
I've never liked the song.
I'm disappointed.
No,
to make
number
a move on you. Bum, 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 bum.
Writings on the Wall by Sam Smith.
Yeah.
Wait.
No, you swapped them. You swapped them.
I like Writings on the Wall better than I like License to Kill. I'm sorry.
I can't believe you're saying Madonna's better than 80s
No.
romance.
Oh,
No.
yeah.
Number 22, Die Another Day by Madonna.
At least make 24 and 23 tied.
No ties allowed. Number 21, The Man with the Golden Gun by Lulu.
Yeah, it's not that great.
Yeah.
But it gets stuck in your head.
Number 20, Moonraker by Shirley Bassey.
Yeah, it's pretty low.
Yep. Number 19, Tomorrow Never Dies by Sheryl Crow.
Yeah, there aren't really any Brosnans that I particularly are fond of.
Number 18, You Only Live Twice by Nancy Sinatra. Number 17, For Your Eyes Only by Sheena Easton. Number 16, Diamonds Are
How
Forever.
dare
by Shirley
you,
Bassey.
sir?
Yeah, I know it was.
Ah!
It was tough. It was tough, but in the end, all the other ones I kind of just had to admit that I kind of like a little bit more.
It's a perfect summary of Bondisms.
Number 15, The Living Daylights by Aha.
What? I don't understand. We agreed how good these songs were.
I know,
What's happening?
This is the point in the list where it became very difficult.
No.
Number 14, Live and Let Die by Paul McCartney.
That's all right.
Number 13, The James Bond Theme by Monty Norman. I considered leaving it off the list, but I decided to include it anyway.
We played all of these in the lobby together, Jake.
I know. Number 12, Thunderball by Tom Jones.
Cruz, these ones had to sink so the others could swim.
What's gonna be in the top 10? I'm so confused.
Number 11, All Time High by Rita Coolidge.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Wait, why is it 11? It's
I
so
love
high.
All Time High. I
No,
like this song. I legitimately like this song. It's
that's
so
more.
good.
That's more of a mom's song than For Your Eyes Only.
Number 10, On Her Majesty's Secret Service by John Barry. Number
Doesn't even
9,
have any words in it.
No Time to Die by Billie Eilish.
That's good. Yeah.
Number 8, A View to a Kill by Duran Duran.
Yep.
Number 7, Goldfinger by Shirley Bassey. Number 6, From Russia with Love by Matt Monroe. Number 5, Nobody Does It Better by Carly Simon.
It's another mom song.
That's a damn good mom song.
You know what else is a damn good mom song? License to Kill.
Number 4,
It's the best of them.
The World Is Not Enough by Garbage.
I keep forgetting that that's their name.
I'm not even sure I can remember how that one goes.
The world is not enough.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right.
Number 3, You Know My Name by Chris Cornell.
Oh, boy. What's going to be
Number 2, Goldeneye by Tina Turner.
Wow. Okay. I thought that was going to be one.
And no, number 1 it has to
Okay,
be
yeah.
Skyfall by Adele.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
that was-
now for my 25. Number 5.
So that's probably going to be
Number
my,
25. Fuck you, Jake.
that's probably going to be my least controversial listing.
Yep.
What?
Wait, least. No.
Jake planned on keeping Willie up all night.
All right, we'll do the villains next.
Yes, Willie, this will be on the test.
All right, let's want to see if you guys can actually remember who some of these people are.
Okay, so you're ranking them and we have to guess. Right? Okay.
All right. I'm going to...
Just see if you remember them or not.
Okay.
All right, so starting off with my least favorite villain in the entire series. This guy.
I remember him.
Ah, the Game of Thrones pervert.
He's the one that is the actual villain in License to
These are all main villains.
No. Yeah.
No, this is the villain from For Your Eyes Only.
Correct.
Yes.
This is Aristotle Christatos.
Get half a point.
Okay, no, I had the name right. I had the movie wrong.
Number 24.
Well, he's Thunderball. No.
let's-
Wait. The spy. No. He has an aquatic thing in the background.
Yes.
He's the guy that got shot in the dick.
Yes.
What movie was that? No. No, wait. It was The Spy Who Loved
This
Me.
is The Spy Who Loved Me.
Right.
This is Carl Stromberg from The Spy Who Loved Me. Number 23, this one you might disagree with me on.
Yeah, as soon as you said I might disagree, I knew who it was.
Can't remember his name, but I know.
I know his name. It's Brad Whitaker.
Yes, Brad Whitaker from The Living Daylights. All right, number 22.
Yeah.
Oh man, who's that? I don't know who that is.
Ernst Several Blofeld from Spectre. And I did rank all the Blofeld separately.
Oh goody.
Oh God.
Number 21.
You don't know Obama.
You don't know Obama.
Dr. Kananga from Live and Let Die.
Who explodes?
He balloon mans.
Yep.
All right, so number 20.
Go away.
Oh fuck! I forgot that one.
Sarif. Sadeep.
I just know something about him as toxic. I don't know what.
What's his name?
Zarif.
Lucifer Safin.
Safin. It starts with an S.
Lucifer Safin from No Time to Die.
Zarif.
Number 19.
Fuck you. That's his name. Fuck you. Stupid.
No, fuck you.
There's no intimidation to him whatsoever.
I chose his best picture. What are you talking about? Oh yeah, Dominic Green from Quantum of Solace.
He's
Get
giving-
get rid of Jake. He's seen my face.
So so this is the one that Cruz is going to disagree with me the most on. My sincerest apologies. Number 18.
It's Blofeld, but okay. I don't. Whatever.
Ernst Several Blofeld from You Only Live Twice. Yeah.
But he was the first and the best.
Number 17.
You can't beat Donald Pleasance.
Yeah.
I actually put her higher, although I can't remember her name.
So Rosa Klebb from Russia with Love.
Yep. Had the movie.
Number 16.
Good-looking
Connery?
guy. Yeah, I don't remember his name, but he is the villain of.
It's a Connery, isn't it?
No.
No.
It's Roger Moore. I'm trying to work backwards. it's not View to a Kill, and it's okay. No, wait, it's Octopussy.
It is Octopussy.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
that is Kamal Khan from Octopussy.
God.
So number 15, I lumped these two together.
Fuck these stupid
God.
idiots.
How are they higher up?
Apparently, I like these two more than the rest of
Apparently.
you. Electric King and Renard from The World is Not Enough. Number 14.
Oh yeah, he's great. He's awesome. I can't remember his name, but it's the
It's the
the
totally
evil-
not British James Bond guy.
it's the evil face changer from Die
Die
Another
Another
Day.
Yeah, Gustav Graves.
Gustav.
It's great.
Number 13.
Dr. No.
Dr. No.
Doctor,
No.
yes.
Number 12.
Another asshole from Game of Thrones. Evil guy from
The guy who does not know how to fake type on a
yeah.
tablet.
Tomorrow Never Dies.
Tomorrow Never Dies. Elliot Carver. Number 11.
Okay. It's not a View to a Kill. It's not it's not Moonraker. No wait. No, it's not Moonraker. And it's not Man with the Golden Gun. And it's not Live and Let Die.
He's not.
This is so. Fuck, this is hard.
I can't believe this is the one that stumps you.
Yeah,
That's
it's not
amazing.
Goldfinger. It's not You Only Live Twice.
He's not a live action Thunderbirds
It's
character.
not Diamonds Are Forever. Is it the first Dalton?
No.
I do not know. Oh wait, no, Thunderball.
No.
Fuck.
This is Ernst Stavro Blofeld from Diamonds Are Forever.
I told ya.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
That's Blofeld from Diamonds Are Forever.
Is the Diamonds Are
Played-
Forever the one where he's
Played by Charles Gray.
yeah?
No, there's a different guy that plays him.
Isn't that the one where he's
There's two of them.
Yeah, it's the one where
So it's a
where-
trick question.
He creates a duplicate of himself.
No, fuck off.
No, that's Blofeld. That's
it's
played by
not.
Charles Gray.
Dude, it's the one where
But it's the same Blofeld. Because he changes his face.
No, he keeps the
No,
same face.
no, he keeps the same face.
I mean, it's a different. It's a different actor than the previous two appearances of Blofeld. But this is
that is the
Blofeld
face that is in
played
that
by
movie.
Charles Gray
It's the
in
one
Diamonds
where,
Are Forever.
where's the guy who has like multiple people having surgeries to do it, and like Bond kills one of them in the beginning, and then
If I told
and then kicks
anyone
the cat.
if I told anyone my evil plan, Mr. Bond, you would be the first to hear it.
I have someone else's face in that movie.
It's amazing.
That is great. I kept I
All right.
I think I have his face and that guy's face combined.
So this is number 10. Now Chris is all
It's
tripped up.
Moonraker. I don't know his name, but it's
yeah.
Moonraker.
Hugo Drax from Moonraker. Number 9.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
Another Game of Thrones.
another guy who dies.
GoldenEye.
Sean shot in the face bean.
Alec Trevelyan from GoldenEye.
Yep.
All right, number 8.
Books can't save you. Oh, yeah, it's Blofeld from Majesty's Secret Service.
Yes, Ernst Stavro my favorite Blofeld.
My little blow.
Number 7.
Okay,
the Golden Gun,
Christopher Reeves as Scaramanga.
Christopher
And
Lee is
Christopher Lee.
Christopher Reeves.
Christopher Lee, who broke his neck and went on to become one of the most powerful Sith.
Francisco Scaramanga. All right,
In another
Number-
universe.
number 6.
Just imagine if Count Dooku was disabled. Count Dooku.
Thunderball.
Yeah, that's Emilio Largo from Thunderball. Number 5.
Oh, yeah, of course. our beloved boy.
The Boy.
Oh, the local exterminator.
Put your super weapon down,
View to a
Christopher
Kill.
Walken. No, I don't want to.
Max Zorin from A View
but we
to
have
a
a
Kill.
I don't care.
Number 4.
Oh, of course.
Yep. The chief.
Oh,
Chief.
let's see if it's amazing how they're easy now.
Where is BB?
Number 3.
Where's Orson Welles?
Goldfinger.
Goldfinger.
Yeah, I did not include anything from the other two films in these rankings.
Boo!
Just
Boo
to-
this
just
man!
Just take them both. Honorary at the bottom. Casino Royale followed by Never Say Never Again. There's your rankings.
Yep.
So yeah, number 3 is Art Goldfinger. Number 2.
Yeah. Silva.
Fair.
Silva.
Silva from Skyfall.
Yep.
And my all-time favorite Bond villain in the entire series.
Wow.
Oh, really?
That is surprising.
Fran Sanchez from License to Kill. Now the hard one. Can you remember the main Bond girls? My hottest take I could make as a Bond fan.
Hey, nice
This is my least favorite Bond girl.
I mean, yeah, it makes perfect sense.
I mean, she's in 260 by 260 pixels.
Yeah,
That-
well,
That is Honey Rider from Doctor No.
that is Honey Rider from Dr. No.
Yep.
The absolute definition of fucking useless.
50 pixels per seashell.
Number 22.
50.
I consider the main girl being the female lead that he ends up with at the end,
Okay.
is my definition.
Punching my microphones.
With my phone.
So no one remembers who this is?
No.
This is Stacey Sutton from A View to a Kill.
Oh, I'm sorry, honey.
Number 21.
What-
It zoomed in and then zoomed out. Like it was bigger for a second.
You only live twice, right? No.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know the name though.
Yeah, well, that's mostly because her name was never said on screen. This is Kissy Suzuki.
Oh.
If she and Aki had just been one character, she would have been much, much higher. But
Yeah.
since they killed off Aki, she ends up down towards the bottom.
They could have summoned Mothra together.
Number 20.
Christmas Jones.
Christmas
and
Jones.
The world
Dr.
is
Christ-
not enough.
Yes. Dr. Christmas Jones.
Christmas
All right.
is
Couldn't have seen you
not
soon
low
enough.
So number 19. Hmm.
Zoom.
Okay, it has to be a Connery. It's probably from Russia.
No.
It's not the one on Gold.
Thunderball.
Yeah, this is Domino Derval from Thunderball.
Yeah.
Number 18.
Diamonds?
Okay,
License
she's the one that pushes it with her butt, and
Yeah,
that's in.
I was trying to remember which movie that one
She is the
was.
one
That's wait, that's Man with the Golden
Yes,
Gun.
yes,
the Golden Gun.
But
okay.
that's
Yeah, Man with the
Money-
Golden Gun.
that's
Mary
Mon-
Goodnight.
Oh, okay, I thought it was Moneypenny.
What did
She wishes.
Oh no, I forgot she's part of the team that he works for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she is technically MI6. Okay, number 17.
Oh
it's a,
shit!
It's a Connery, and it's from Russia.
Yeah, that is Tatiana Romanova from Russia with Love.
Is it?
Okay, number 16.
Yep,
Uh,
Madeline.
Madeline from
There's Madeline. Madeline Swan from Spectre and No Time to Die. Number 15.
GoldenEye.
Yeah,
Natalia.
useless.
Natalia
She-
Semeniova.
Yeah, useless in GoldenEye.
Number 14.
Yeah, what's her face from Quantum?
Yes. Camille Montez. Number 13.
See, I wouldn't have gone if it wasn't for that stupid cello.
Yeah.
I made sure that I got a picture.
No, it's not
with
on
the
Her
cello.
Majesty's. It's freaking
It's got the bullet hole in it too.
Yeah, it does.
the first Dalton is.
Wait.
Wait, I thought it was a Brosnan.
Living Daylights.
Yes, this is Cara Malovi from The Living Daylights. Number 12.
Jailbait.
It was Rogers first.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a Live and Let Die.
Live and Let
Literally, it was his first.
Yep, Solitaire.
And her first.
Solitaire.
That's the joke.
Okay, number 11.
What?
On a top.
On the top.
I'm kidding.
Wet, swapping. What were we talking about?
Is it
I'm actually thinking
Spy Who Loved Me?
Yes, it is. This is Anya Masava, Agent Triple X.
Triple X. That was the one I meant to say. Not
Number
on a top.
10.
Lauren?
No, that's
Well, I'm never going to be able to watch that movie ever again. Thanks, Cruz.
isn't that James?
This
No,
is
that was Stacy.
That was Stacey.
this is Octopussy.
That was number 22. That was the
Oh.
second to last.
Wait.
Is this Octopussy?
No. This is Holly Goodhead from Moonraker.
Moonraker.
okay.
God damn it.
Holly Goodhead. Number 9.
Okay, diamonds are forever.
Yep.
Can't remember her name.
Tiffany Case.
Hmm.
Number 8.
You only
It's
live
one-
twice.
It's one Bond girl from each film.
Yeah.
Okay.
Isn't that Trudy?
Golden Gun.
Not Golden Gun.
It's Trudy Beekman.
Not Trudy.
Spy Who Loved Me.
No.
I mean, it's not a Brosnan.
No.
Wait, that was
We already had Russia. It's not GoldenEye. We already had Thunderball. Is it On Her Majesty?
Yeah, this is Tracy.
Okay.
Tracy DiVincenzo. Mrs. Bond.
Tracy was the one I meant. I always call her Trudy.
Yeah, no, it's not Trudy.
It was Tracy. That was the one. That was what I meant to say. You knew what I meant.
It's not Trudy.
You knew what I meant.
Willie was that kid in school who would get the answer wrong 5 times. And then when the teacher says the right answer, he goes, oh, right, of course.
Of
I knew it.
course.
I said Trudy. I meant Tracy. God damn it. I've made that mistake with her name before too.
You have.
So that's how I know that that's the one I was thinking of. I just get the name wrong.
And yet you didn't learn.
Number 7.
Okay, this is GoldenEye, and her name is... It's something so on the nose.
It's kind of on the nose, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Pussy Galore from Goldfinger.
I was waiting to see if I had to be the one to say it.
All right. Number 6.
Okay, she is from... No, not a Brosnan. Dalton. She's from a Dalton, and it's License to Kill.
Yep, this is Pam Bouvier from License to
yeah,
Kill.
Yeah,
She's-
the CIA agent, right? Or the former.
Former.
Give me that
Former
90s
CIA
short
agent.
hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 5.
Halle Berry as Daredevil.
You got Jinx
As
from Die
Jinx.
Another Day. Number 4.
Oh,
Crossbow!
stupid For Your Eyes Only crossbow lady.
Yeah. Yes, Melina Havelock.
I like her.
the
Boo.
most slept on Bond girl of all time.
Agreed.
Number 3.
Academy Award winner Michelle Yeoh
From what movie?
from Everything Everywhere All at Once.
I'm talking the Bond movie.
Oh, Tomorrow Never Dies.
Yeah, this is Wei Lin from Tomorrow Never Dies.
What else do you want from me?
Number 2.
Octopussy.
Yes. This is Octopussy from
It's got
Octopussy.
some mad cougar energy in that picture.
Oh, Octopussy has total Mad Cougar energy, which is why she's number 2 for me. I'm sorry.
She's sizing all of us up right
And-
now.
The number 1 greatest Bond girl of all time, without question,
Vesper.
is Vesper
Yeah.
Lind. So those are my rankings for title themes, Bond villains, and Bond girls. Good job, guys.
Now
You have a-
I get to provide the DVDs for the next 2 movies.
you give me decently
Blu-rays
re-
or give me death.
I have Blu-rays. I know I have a Blu-ray of Kingsman, the first one. I need to make sure that I have the Golden Circle. If not, I'll buy it because I want one anyway. Even though I own them both in like 4K on my phone.
David Lynch is gonna slap the shit out of you.
I bought them from Google Play and they came in 4K.
David
What do you
Lynch-
want from me?
I don't know. Buy a 4K disc.
I can't watch that on a plane. How am I supposed to watch a 4K DVD on a plane?
How about you don't go on a plane?
Fuck you! I don't know what I just did, but Cruz has left the building.
It's such a sadness that you think you've seen a film on your fucking telephone. Get real.
Fool me once, fool me twice. Higher death of paradise. Now you never see me cry. There's just no time today. No time to die. No time to die.
So it's time to test my friends' ability to retain memory of kaiju and all their glorious, destructive beauty.
I'm feeling fairly confident about this. If it's just
I'm confident too, but
As
very
am
just
I.
if it's just identifying the monster, I think I'm good. Rodan.
Yep. I almost said Radon.
Would have fucking flipped this table. If you
It's like, would you have accepted that answer? Oh, that is wait. That's
It began with a G. No, I'm kidding.
Gearus?
no. It was I can see it. It's like it's stylized as an acronym, but I can see it. It's like Magirus or something like that.
Mechagearus?
No, not Mechagearus. It's like Magirus or Bagirus or fuck. I can see it. I can see the name. Fuck.
You know, Bagheera from the Jungle Book. Yeah. It's all right.
Yeah. You see, it's fucking caw. Fuck. I know the monster.
I want to. For some reason, my brain is thinking X, but
No. It's not an X web. It's
Ultraman.
it's a stupid mosquito robot thing that I didn't like.
yeah.
Poor little guy. This is Mogira.
Mogira. Yeah.
From Space Godzilla.
Mo probably.
Like I remember it was an acronym. Oh, it's Biolante.
Yep.
Oh fuck. That's Oh fuck.
Good luck with that one.
That's obscure, right? Like that's
Nah.
Was it the main monster in its movie?
Sort of.
Sort of.
Was it the one that started with like the giant isopod? That like never got brought up again, and it was like saying we found this giant isopod, and we're like, what the fuck is that? I don't think that was it.
I mean, you have to go back to the episode we recorded, and Jake's like, wait, they didn't even say its fucking name.
Which makes it much harder. Oh, is that the fucking
Yes.
Is that the thing that the UFO turns into?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, yeah.
I don't remember its name.
I mean,
It
they
was
didn't
like-
say it.
It was like the Millennialoid or something fucking stupid
It's
like
like
that.
Orga. It's
Or-
fucking
it's-
Orga.
it's
Oh
Orga.
my
Orga.
God.
I can't believe
yeah.
Chaz got it.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
the UFO.
Quick, check his computer to make sure he's not looking up the answer.
Oh, yeah, it's just Godzilla's face.
Just Godzilla's face here. Looking for a boot.
Adorable.
King Caesar.
There you go.
Yeah, the little
Yep.
the puppy. He's such a good boy.
King
Yep.
Raggedy Dog.
Oh right, that's fucking. Oh, I forgot about him.
Fucking Nessie.
Yeah, what the fuck's his name? Oh fuck. I remember him. I just can't remember his name. Oh shit.
Try thinking about it in a
I-
Scottish
I'm
accent.
trying so hard.
I don't know why I was just reminded of. I brought yellow. You don't like yellow.
Was that Ibra?
No, I know. Like I know it wasn't, but I saw the yellow in the fizz. And for some reason
I
it
remember
just
him. I remember I wasn't super impressed by him.
Attack on.
Titan.
Oh,
It was just Titanosaurus.
There you
something
go,
like that,
yeah.
Oh, that okay. That is like the least like specific.
I
name
honestly, I
possible.
forgot that monster existed until I saw the picture, and I'm like, oh yeah, that was a thing.
I still don't remember.
Titanosaurus. You could have called any of them that.
That's Big Mac and G.
Yep.
OG MG.
OGMG, yeah.
OGMG, yeah.
Big Mac and G.
Oh my God! It's the Cloud People. Cruz, get out of here.
Oh shit, I put on the wrong face.
It's just a flying Anguirus. What? Oh, no,
Pretty much.
I was was that the older model of Baragon?
No.
No.
It's too airborne.
Yeah. He only appeared in one film for like 5 seconds.
Oh yeah, it was the one where like in the big monster film, and it just like kind of just flies up into
Yep.
the air. I don't know its fucking name. I remember that. Yeah, I don't know its.
This
fucking
is
name.
Varan,
Yeah,
who starred in his own film called Varan the Unbelievable.
yeah, he's in Godzilla for like 5 seconds, so I didn't care.
It almost seemed like he was in the Varan film.
It's Betra.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, it's not, is
If
it?
I could slap all three of you at once, I would.
No, okay, that's not
Wow.
Batra. That's
Really?
Mega Garrus then.
Mega Garrus.
Yeah,
yes.
that's Mega Garrus.
I was about to say Batra, but I was like, wait, no, it's not.
Just uniformly, all of you were like, "Oh yeah, of course."
Like for a split second, from what I saw, I was like, "That's
didn't
no,
look
it's
like
not."
Batra. It didn't
But
look-
then he
That's
answered it.
that's Anguirus.
He looks angry.
I'm just gonna be making.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do the pun. I'm the pun man. It's a very necessary profession. Destroyer.
Destroy us all.
I'll take the chicken.
That's Ibra.
The one whose weakness is warm butter.
That's Mr. Krabs.
Yep.
Oh, that's what's his name? Gabara.
Blue King Caesar.
Gabara.
It's Willie.
Yep.
I cannot believe you remember Gabara.
Gabara, yeah. Hey, I was the one who actually enjoyed that movie.
Yeah, I did too.
America.
That's the giant condor.
Wow. Yeah.
It's just a giant condor. That's
Oh yeah, that's right. It was just a
it
giant
was just
condor.
a giant condor. Yep. Oh, fucking mecha chicken.
The battle chicken.
Gigan?
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
Arise, Mecha Chicken. Arise.
Rise, mecha chicken.
Chicken arise chicken. That's Baragon.
Yeah, there.
Yeah. Oh fuck yes. Gorosaurus.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow, that is one
I
sick
only
dinosaur.
remember him because he was the one who did the sick drop kick.
Yep.
It's the only reason I remember that bastard.
Okay, Jake. The only thing that looks sick about him is his health.
Yeah.
Hey.
I think I can confidently bring Jake with me to G-Fest because he'll know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
He had the drop kick. It was cool. Oh yeah. Fucking Megalon?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was gonna say mole cricket, but
You know, he came from like
You're not wrong.
yeah.
Mole cricket.
Batra. I'm
who's
just
that?
kidding.
that is Mecha King Ghidorah.
Yeah.
It is
Me-
Batra.
Mecha King Ghidorah 5-head version.
Hey, Jet Jaguar.
Yeah.
Bachelor larval
Is that
stage.
the Bachelor larva?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was second guessing myself. I'm like, no, that's the Bachelor larva.
Yep.
Oh, Kumonga.
I cannot believe you remember these.
I remember Kumonga.
I'm very proud of you.
Honestly, at this point, I just want Jake to answer and see how many he gets right.
I remember Kumonga. Yeah.
Instead of just saying big ass spider.
I mean, I was about to, but then he actually started to sound like he was going to say it. I'm like, oh, I shouldn't.
Oh, that's Manda.
Jake is getting
That-
more monsters than I was names of
That's
Bond
Haku.
girls.
That's Haku.
That just shows the quality of the Bond girls in general. They're not as cool as monsters.
Sure.
Octopussy.
Yeah, totally.
Pussy galore.
An actual just
Octopussy
fucking
galore.
octopus.
Did it even have a name or was it just giant
Giant
octopus?
octopus, yeah.
Yeah, giant octopus. Yeah.
Octopussy galore.
Lifted
I
right
like
from the
that.
magic card.
He's just starting to turn into like Smash names, like an actual octopus.
Mecha King Ghidorah. Yep.
Yeah, that one's easy.
Hedera.
Yep. I got that one.
Also known as
Smog monster.
Yeah.
That is Space Godzilla.
Yep. I got that one.
Giant ass shoulders.
We need to do the Pokemon now.
No, just do a Pokemon wrap up with Godzilla Kaiju.
King Kong.
King Kong.
Also known as Kong, to avoid copyright issues.
Those were called the Kamakuras?
Yep.
God.
How are you remembering these
Well,
They were from the same movie as Kumonga.
I know someone who's getting an ice cream cake.
That's just Godzilla.
Godzilla.
I got
That's-
one.
Oh no, that's
I got two.
that's the famous legendary monster known as Zilla.
You know the
Got a
thing.
problem here.
You know when something's big and you name it Zilla.
And there's King Ghidorah.
Yep.
OG version.
Yeah, and that's it.
Yay!
All the kaiju. Since Toho was happy with Mechagodzilla 3, director Masaki Tezuka returned with a direct sequel to not only his previous movie, but to the original 1961 Mothra film, as we see veteran actor Hiroshi Koizumi reprise his original role as Shinichi Chujo. Tokyo S.O.S. follows how Mothra's fairies tell the Japanese special forces that Godzilla's bones must be returned to the ocean as it upsets the natural order, leading to a three-way battle between Godzilla, Kiryu, and Mothra. As much as I dislike Mechagodzilla 3, the sequel is a much-needed breath of fresh air as it improves upon pacing, style, and the inclusion of Mothra and her fantastical elements. But what did you guys think?
For this one, I really, really enjoyed this one, but I don't think I'm going to have much to say about it. Mainly because
You like it more than the last one, or?
Well, see, I know, like I said, I kind of sung the praises of the previous film, and I still stand by that. I do think that both of these films I really liked, but they're so tonally different that it's not so much of a direct comparison. Because like the previous film, I loved it because it was a Saturday morning cartoon. This one plays the whole idea a lot more straight. And I think it does a really awesome job, even if it doesn't tonally mesh with the previous one all that well. But what I got out of this movie coming out of it, it felt like it took the best pieces of the previous Mothra movies and the previous Mechagodzilla movies and just put them together. And so it really did feel like just an amalgamation of everything that worked from the previous appearances of these monsters. So it just naturally all works well together. There's nothing that I can praise this movie about that I haven't praised previous movies about. Because it just does things that previous movies did super well, and it just combined them, and it just works.
Yeah.
And that's why in the last episode, I was irritated when you said this feels like a Showa-era movie with a budget. But
This is much more Showa.
Yeah, I understand that now rewatching Tokyo S.O.S. in the sense that it's taking kind of the weird human elements, but like really taking seriously this crazy idea, but also questioning it in the sense that like, okay, wait, you've faced kaiju before, and we've built Mechagodzilla and we're fighting Godzilla, but Mothra shows up and you guys are going, oh, don't be ridiculous. Do we even believe such a thing? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? We've fought Mothra before. So I think you're right when we have the best elements of Mothra and Mechagodzilla, which we haven't seen before in a film. So it's nice to see that three-way battle. And I personally think that as much as I'm a huge fan of the Heisei Mothra film, I think because that design has been my favorite, but I think Mothra looks the best she's ever looked in this film.
I see what you're getting at with that one.
I can agree with that.
Not just in terms of design, but movement, choreography, the way she's filmed.
Yeah, it's everything that they did with her has so much detail, and I would have brought my gigantic Mothra figure that I have, but it's too dangerous to bring. But that's the one that's modeled after. And actually watching the film again, because the last time I saw it was like when I was probably in my early 20s. Yeah, it's just astounding how well they implemented her puppet into this, and how this time around they had piano strings not only from the ceiling but from the ground to make her wings look a lot more believable.
It was
Yeah.
it was a damn good puppet on a stick.
And they used real fur on her actual body to make it look more convincing and have more detail.
She looked good, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked the details on the wings. I noticed the wing movements in this film. I'm just like,
And she has an incredible introduction. As I try to keep things hidden for each film, so I didn't mention which third monster was going to be in this, but as soon as we have that amazing shot of the airplanes flying over something that's billowing under the clouds, and then the music kicks in, all my friends are going, oh, she's in this.
Finally.
And it's like, wait, what's that on the monitor? And you just see the pattern of her wings, and then it cuts to the title sequence, and it's like, yeah.
Yay. I can definitely say with confidence that Kiryu is my favorite Mechagodzilla, and this movie just reinforced that. It was able to take that initial kind of, Super Sentai style idea, but actually put weight behind it, with the whole themes of, we're essentially addressing the kaiju elephant in the room of, what they did to the bones of Godzilla was kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
And especially once you learn from the last movie that Godzilla is kind of still inside there.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, that's kind of fucked up. Like, here we are turning Godzilla into our own weapon, which is something that we've demonized villains in the past for doing, and they were trying to mind control Godzilla or some other monster to turn them into their own puppet. We were told like, oh no, that's bad, that's messed up. So now here we are making that same sin.
Being aware of what the humans are doing and like aware of the guy who's now trapped inside of him and then is struggling to get to climb out near the end and then just turns himself over so he can just fall out. I wasn't sure how I felt about all that as I was leaving the movie, but that put it 100% into a picture of that's really fucking cool.
I really liked that moment that kind of, humanizes Godzilla in that sense, especially since, with the knowledge that it was the original, 54 Godzilla, who was the villain of the piece. It was just a monster. But now you see it having been, forced back to life from the dead into a weapon. This thing has absolutely every right to hate humanity even more. But the fact that, in the end, it did showed this, act of mercy, it kind of, deifies Godzilla in such a way to have this creature that kind of better than we are.
Yeah, it is like, because when it culminates into this giant ending of like this bombastic fight that has lasted for like 30 or 40 minutes, to have that kind of ghost in the machine thing of like sayonara to that character appearing on the screen, I think is really cool.
I didn't catch that whole fight was basically the majority of the movie.
No, I think that
yeah, pretty much.
That's definitely one of the strengths of this movie is that it cuts the bullshit, gets into the fights fast, and focuses on the fights.
While still keeping the humans enough in the mind where they're not in the way.
Well, you see, I think this film and the previous one hit a stride with it actually figured out how to implement the humans into the main story in a very natural way. Instead of just having the humans just be there or doing their own thing. The human element is integral and it's interwoven in such a way that it doesn't interfere at all. It's kind of funny because the fairies show up and they're like, "Hey, let's make a deal. Put the bones back. Mothra will be your guardian." No, we're gonna stick with the giant robot. So you have chosen death.
There's a weird, even though I do think that the story is well done, there is this repetitive kind of Japanese monster of filmmaking trope of just like them constantly repeating the plot point of, do you think it's true that Mothra will fight for us? Because if not, we need Mechagodzilla, but we can't use Mechagodzilla. But do you think that Mothra will actually fight for us? If she doesn't, do you think she'll actually destroy us? And he's going and going and going.
Yeah,
and going.
I mean that is a very valid circle of questions to ask yourself during that, because it's like Mothra came once, and did they say why Mothra?
Well, it's because in the original 1961 Mothra film, it's because of the same thing that we've seen in the Godzilla films, which is, they saw the twins, they tried to market them, and Mothra got pissed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I remember them mentioning that now. Yeah. So that was why Mothra raised him the first time, and this time is like they're saying she will protect you, but it's like, and I can understand that concern of, but what if that's a lie or whatever. But then again, hey, just don't try to market the twins. You'll be fine.
I mean, I can see where the Japanese government is coming from.
Yeah.
In terms of like, it's not a case of logic. It's a case of Mothra did attack us once before. Why, the why is, the why isn't irrelevant, but the why isn't being considered because, well, she attacked us before. You can see where the Japanese government is coming from. And when you have something like Kiryu, who is a deterrent, it makes a connection to deterrence theory. Why do usually it's in the lens of atomic weapons.
Yeah.
Oh, why do we have nukes? Because the enemy has nukes. We should get rid of our nukes, but we can't get rid of our nukes because they still have the nukes.
Yeah.
Kiryu works the same way.
Yep.
Yeah, we shouldn't be using Kiryu, but we have to use Kiryu because those kaiju are out there. And there's nothing else we can do about it.
Also, if there's any monster that the Japanese government is probably the least afraid of, it's unfortunately Mothra.
And that does play into your guys' interesting reaction because you guys had a pretty, happy conclusion with the ending of the film, but then the director adds in another post-credits scene where we see that DNA is still being stored for potential experiments, which is, the implication that they are still going to be experimenting with that stuff. And you guys were like, oh, well, that kind of just ruins the ending now, doesn't it?
Yeah, I get.
But, I mean, that's just to play into, that's how society works.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, for 100%. It's like,
I get that.
it's all well and good for, the Japanese prime minister and says, and then we never did anything evil again.
Right.
That's a nice sentiment, but come on, we're humanity. Someone
Yeah.
out there somewhere is going to fuck up and create another kaiju.
It's the Umbrella Corporation post-credits.
Yeah,
game.
exactly.
And I get that, and I understand that. It still bugs me because
It does undermine the theme a bit, but at the same time, it's like, if you're going to buy into that theme of face value, and just kind of go along with the Disney ending, everyone learned their lesson, that is a naive way of looking at it. So that stinger ending does inject a bit of reality into
does that? I don't know if you'll answer this right now. Does that ending have any correlation to the movie we're gonna watch?
No.
because
It's its
you
own
said
thing.
it's just these two that are related.
Yeah. Well, the
Yeah.
director, he kind of wanted to have an open door for making another movie.
Yeah.
And there is a book that has an illustration of a what if scenario where the government would have made even more mechanized kaiju. So you see mecha versions of different monsters from throughout the film history.
Yeah, and like I can understand that, and I get that. I get that was setting up potential,
Right.
as opposed to, hey, don't believe this shit because humans are humans. But in the same vein, I'm just like,
Right.
I feel like you could have done something that wasn't immediately. We're not going to experiment on that, and at least make an effort to say it's not them experimenting with it.
I mean,
but the fact is, my brain immediately went to that the government was still doing that, as opposed to it could have been someone
Could have
else.
could have just been some kind of.
I wish there was
organization.
some effort taken to disassociate whoever had that from
Yeah.
the government.
Because it does kind of have that it is somewhat humorous, the fact that it's essentially, and we promise never to experiment on kaijus ever again. Meanwhile, at the kaiju experiment lab.
Exactly. like honestly, it reminded me of basically of the Hercules lab.
Gentlemen, behold.
I mean, it's a big country. There's going to be some company out there hoping to score a juicy government contract.
Could be aliens.
And that's why I'm saying
Aliens
I wish there was
disguised as
some-
cockroaches that are disguised as apes.
Don't be
Dude,
stupid.
that's ridiculous, Chaz.
Yeah.
One of the DNA canisters in that scene has the label Tezuka, which is a reference to suit actor Katsumi Tezuka, who played Anguirus, Mogira, Varan, the Mothra larva, and the first Godzilla alongside Haru Nakajima from the Showa era.
Nice.
So Tezuka's going to be be the next giant kaiju.
Yes.
Yes.
So, out of curiosity, am I the only one who, when the Mothra larvae's eyes went from blue to red, immediately thought the Ohm from Nausicaa?
I didn't at the time, but I see it now.
Well, we've referenced that before, like with the last Mothra film that we saw. We talked about how it is similar to just insects trying to protect the world.
Yeah, but like I was about to say just now. I know that they probably aren't related, but then I remembered that there's a Nausicaa reference in the Fruits Basket manga. So it's like it wouldn't have surprised me if that was a slight reference to the Ohm from Nausicaa. I feel like there's a non-zero chance of that. Now.
I mean,
Don't get all the animals tattooed on you, really. Just get a giant ohm on your back.
I'm not gonna get a back tattoo for my first one.
Yes, giant
I wanna
bug,
get- I
giant bug. But speaking of which, this is the first time that a male Mothra larva has appeared in the series.
Huh, it was male?
Yeah, one of them
was?
was. It's the one with the bigger tusks that was supposed to imply to be a male and female because they were twins.
I mean, twins doesn't necessarily mean opposite genders.
Yeah, but I mean, it was supposed to be that one's a male, one's a female.
Okay, that's cool. I like that.
And then the male one dies because a male Mothra is heresy.
One of them's dead, but the other one's doing okay.
Doing just fine. This would be composer Michiru Oshima's last Godzilla film that she scored, completing her symphonic trilogy of Megaguirus, Mechagodzilla, and Tokyo S.O.S. Her music
Tokyo S.O.S.
Her music remains distinct as she hadn't seen any of the previous Godzilla films before in order to not cloud her judgment, and she brings a magical airiness to Tokyo S.O.S.'s action. And there's just something about this film, even though we've been watching films that, for the most part, have the same caliber of like technology and sound design, but there's this about this one in particular. So much of the sound design and production, like just echoed and
felt
reveled,
that.
in the theater. Like it was astounding in the theater.
We definitely reached a stage in the Godzilla series where the movies now feel very modern.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like we can hear the missiles flying overhead, we can feel the footsteps, and everything in this film sound-wise is amazing. So the Kamibus monster that washes ashore comes from the Toho sci-fi film Space Amoeba. I haven't seen it, so that's about all
No,
I got on that.
I remember watching it and like, I just, I could just felt it through just general, context that it was supposed to be something established from something else.
Yeah.
Because they went so far out of their way to not establish anything. So I kind of did get the sense of like, oh,
That was a reference.
general audiences are supposed to know what this thing is. I don't, but I understand that.
Yeah.
There were two other monsters that the director wanted to use. One was Anguirus, but Toho didn't want to kill him off. And the other one was Gamera, which is a quick no because they didn't own the rights.
I mean, I'm sure they've dreamt about killing Gamera for years.
Well, they've actually, I mean, for the most part, they've tried to just make them fight each other, but there's just the rights have never
Yeah.
worked.
So who owns the right to
Gamera?
Gamera?
Google it.
Yeah, I don't know their name at the top of my
don't
head.
know.
It's not Toho.
Veteran actor Hiroshi Koizumi, who not only appeared in the original Mothra film, but in Godzilla Raids Again, Mothra vs. Godzilla, Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster, Mechagodzilla, and Godzilla 1985, had this to say about the film series. I think it was one of the great accomplishments of Godzilla movies to show the tokusatsu techniques of Toho all over the world. Godzilla movies have something that American monster movies could not make. They are still amazing and very attractive. I believe Godzilla movies have something beyond tokusatsu techniques. I hope that movies will promote even better mutual understanding and greater friendship between the people all over the world.
Well, Cruz, you've been to G-Fest. Do you feel like that's happening?
With this fandom, yeah. And I mean, it is interesting that we are recording an episode about Tokyo S.O.S. on the same night that Fathom Events is showing Tokyo S.O.S. in theaters.
Shoot, didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, then what the fuck are we doing here?
What the hell are we doing here?
Recording a
Let's go watch the movie.
podcast because I have the ability to screen it in my own theater.
Bullshit! I want to pay money. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, let's
No,
go
you
give
don't
them money.
have to pay. Give money to me. How about that?
No, I want to support Fathom Events.
Well, Cruz, okay,
Hurtful.
Willie, you should help support Cruz.
make a
donation
to the Palm Springs Cultural Center.
I know Cruz is just like secretly keeping a tab, and at the end of the podcast, we're all going to get like this.
Oh, let's see. The
bill.
going rate for feature film tickets for adults is about
I
$15.95.
said I wanted to support Fathom. I didn't say I wanted to support local theaters.
Oh, okay, Willie. Well, okay.
hurtful.
Well, here's a little.
At least I can show them in the proper aspect ratio. They can't.
Okay, Willie, fine. I see how it is. You don't want to give money to Cruz. Here's a picture of Lupin. You just gotta take the lettuce right out of his mouth, Willie. Just take the lettuce right out of Lupin's mouth.
Call 1-800 month for fun.
Yeah, but to wrap it up, it's like it's interesting that to sum it up, it's 3 great films in the Millennium series, and not so 3 great films in the Millennium series, depending on what your opinion is. But I am at least happy that with this director, who clearly has a lot of passion and dedication to the Godzilla films, that Tokyo S.O.S. I think finally reached a pinnacle for him to where he could make incredible action, great sound design, and a story that is actually engaging with effects that for the early 2000s still look great. Like the shot of him falling out of Mechagodzilla towards the camera looks great.
Super cool.
Like
Super
like
cool.
there are a lot of really good effects, and I just loved a lot about this movie too, and it made me appreciate some of the previous movie too a bit more. I really liked, which is weird to think about, but Kiryu's character.
Kitty has a great character.
Yeah.
Like, just how we've gone through this series and we've talked about how Godzilla very clearly has a character.
Yeah.
And the same could be said for Kiryu.
Yep.
Did you have anyway the same appreciation for the main characters in this one, considering that the pilot just straight up leaves in this one?
I mean, I do. Comparing the human main characters of this film and the previous film, I did like the girl from the last movie more. I felt more of a strong connection with her, but I did like the characters in this film.
I think that's
It is very similar in the feeling of like mecha shows like Gundam or maybe even Zoids of people who used to pilot something and now the new guy steps in and creates a sort of bond with the robots. So
So
I still gotta remember which Zoids it was that I was watching.
passing on the robot. It's like,
Yeah.
And they're just like, yeah, you get to be as traumatized as I am one day.
it's like
Remember, chicks dig giant robots.
I'm very sure I do.
although I did notice that for some reason the subtitles in this swapped around Kiryu so many times. So
Yeah, most of the times, if not all the times, they referred to it as Mecha G.
yeah, Mecha G,
Yeah.
Mechagodzilla, or there are times when it just replaces it. Like he says like arigato Kiryu and it just says goodbye.
I caught that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
caught
I saw
that.
that.
I saw that. I was like, what the fuck?
And then
No.
when it has the Akane flashback of her screaming Kiryu, it just says no.
Yeah.
Like,
once I realized that was what they were doing, I kind of just, it's like brush it off like whatever. Okay, subtitles are just using
Yeah.
Mecha G instead of Kiryu. It's still fucking Kiryu and we know it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think even the current pilot at times calls it Kiryu a couple times. And I don't think that the subtitles use that. I think they replaced it with Mecha G entirely.
I got the feeling that the people behind the subtitling just didn't trust the American audiences to understand
Yeah.
Kiryu.
In case they hadn't watched the previous film.
That is just, they just think we're stupid, which fair enough.
And I did find it interesting that both of these films had self-sacrifice scenes where someone's like, hey, yeah, I'm fine. Just go ahead and do what you're going to do. I'm going to stay here and basically die.
Yeah, it was-
And then it still survived.
Well, Bond doesn't survive.
I kind of
Bond
like.
doesn't survive.
Oh, you meant I thought you were talking about the two
Oh, no.
people.
the two Godzilla. Oops, I just slapped my.
Both of
Two
these
Mechagodzillas.
films have self-sacrifice. Both of them have kids. Both have motorcycles. I think that's about it.
I kind of like how part of the plot was involved. Basically one of the pilots realizing, wait a second, you're still in there, aren't you?
Yeah.
I really like that moment. Like, oh my God, you're still in there. There was a window of time in which I wasn't entirely sure if he was going to make it or not.
Yeah, same.
It's almost like kind of like a subtrope of like the liar revealed. It's like the
Yeah.
the martyr revealed.
The martyr revealed. I like that actually.
like it was even when they were shooting the back open, and even when it opened, I wasn't sure if he was gonna make it out. I wasn't sure he was gonna make it out until Kiryu started to turn
'Cause I think-
and let him fall out.
I think it would have been a fitting end for the character if he went down with Kiryu.
I kind of agree too. It would have been similar to like a Sarazawa type deal.
And like the scene plays out, it's like you're not really sure how well things are going to go according to plan for what
Well,
they're
I don't know.
trying to do.
I don't know about that because this guy is just a repairman with an uncle And
He's a repairman with heart.
I can't remember if it's
Heart!
a brother or nephew. I can't remember. But I mean, imagine that. Like, he would die from the pressure of going down to the bottom of the ocean. Like, I don't know if I'd want him to die like that.
No,
it'd be harsh.
It'd be a harsh way to go, but I think like it has that sense of honor about it, which the Japanese culture values highly. That sense of honor, and so I think it's a direction that I think the movie could have easily gone to, but instead it chose to, as I said, give Kiryu this sense of mercy.
Yeah.
And it's almost, you can almost see it as like,
I see.
Kiryu's final act. Kiryu's final act in life really is to spare another.
Yeah.
And that's beautiful.
So, Jake, would you recommend No Time to Die or Godzilla Tokyo S.O.S. to a first-time viewer?
No Time to Die is straight up a finale.
Yeah.
It should be viewed as finale. Watch all the Daniel Craigs in order. Save No Time to Die for last. There is really no reason why you should start with it, and it's meant as a finale, and that's the way it should be watched. I'm also going to say the same thing for Tokyo S.O.S. in terms of the fact that it is a follow-up sequel. I would recommend watching the previous movie first and then this one. You could start with this one. It doesn't require as much context. If you really wanted to, you could start here if you stumble upon it. I would still recommend watching this one second.
For a first-time viewer, the context of the previous movie isn't terribly important for a first-time watcher in this one, I feel like. So I would agree with you on No Time to Die, but I would say this one is okay enough to start as, but I would also recommend this being a second of, if you starting with the previous Mechagodzilla as opposed to this one.
Both of them are wonderful movies. It's just that technically you are missing out on a lot if you just watch these first. Although they could kind of serve as a kind of a nice sampler of what is to come, but your viewing experience is still gonna benefit greatly from seeing these movies mostly in order.
I have to completely disagree, but I completely understand Jake's point at the same time. I would recommend No Time to Die for a first-time viewing, even though, yeah, it is the grand finale, but as a film itself, if you watched it as a Bond film, even if you're missing a bunch of huge backstory, you're still going to be highly entertained. And I think, just like Skyfall, it sits in that realm of, if you're in a certain mood or you're seeking a certain feeling from a film, you're going to get it in this great big spy film that just might make you want to go back and watch all the other ones to get context for it. And then same thing with Tokyo S.O.S. As much as I would say no, it's still really well made. It introduces you to 3 separate monsters from the series. It's highly entertaining, so I wouldn't completely say no to that, even though it does have other context to it. But it wouldn't be a bad first entry for someone who's going into the series.
Next time on James Bond. Oh, shit. We ran out of Bond films. Quick, distract them with Colin Firth being a badass. Next time we'll tackle the half-spoof, half-love letter, Kingsman, the Secret Service.
And next time on Godzilla, it's time to celebrate the end of the Millennium series, Godzilla's 3rd retirement, and his 50th anniversary, with a bombastic grand finale of kaiju action, Matrix fights, and more monsters than you can count on your fingers. Commence Operation Godzilla Final Wars. Thank you all for listening to Bond vs. Godzilla. We'll see you next time with a martini in one hand and a rubber suit in the other.
Stay tuned and stay watching.
Bye.